Hello everybody, Coach Natalie Rose here. Today I'm going to be going over with you why in the world it seems as if it's harder for you to lose weight as you age and why it feels like your metabolism is slowing down. So there's nothing wrong with you. Your metabolism slowing down as you age is actually very natural and it happens to all of us. And I'm going to tell you the two main reasons why this is and give you 5 simple tips that you can start implementing right away to start changing this. So let's go ahead and begin. So the 2 main reasons why it seems as if whenever you have that cheat meal or you just go off track of your diet for just the weekend time and it feels like you just threw away months of hard work, that's because you're losing muscle. The second reason why is because you are less active now than what you used to be. You might think, well, I'm super active. I go to the gym, I run around with my kids all day, I work out, but guess what? You are not as active as you once were when you were a spring chicken. That's just the fact of the matter. You might think you are, but you're not. And your body is not exerting as much energy as it once used to. So let's go ahead and talk about the first one. The first reason is that you're losing muscle. So when we turn 30, at the age of 30, the onset of sarcopenia starts to occur, which just basically means you start losing muscle. And it happens every single year, a little bit more every single year at a time. And muscle is our body's natural fat burner. So the more muscle that we have on us, the more calories our body can literally burn at rest. And that's referred to as our resting metabolic rate. So what our resting metabolic rate is basically how many calories our body is burning while we are sleeping, or even while we are truly in a coma. So our body is always using energy to run and keep it alive. We have to have energy, and that energy comes from our cells. And inside of our cells, there are these tiny little things called mitochondria. And mitochondria produce ATP, and the mitochondria are basically the powerhouse to our cells, and that is where energy is produced, and that's how we are able to stay alive, that's how we're able to breathe, and do weight training workouts, do yoga, do everything. So thanks to our mitochondria, we are all here. Well, and many other processes in our body, but for the most part, our mitochondria give us life. They're the most important component to our cell. And we'll get more into mitochondria here at the end, but there's a reason why I went into the nitty-gritty of what mitochondria's roles are and why they're so important. And then let's talk about the second reason why we are not as active. So you might think that you are still super active, but the fact of the matter is that you're not. And as we age, it has been proven that we don't move as much as we used to, and especially in an era where screen time is so relevant and so normal, it's more common for us to just do a Netflix and chill and plop in front of the TV in the evening time than we did when we were kids growing up. Typically women, they get in the habit, not only are they sitting in front of the TV, but they're snacking on snacks, drinking their wine, consuming empty calories for the most part. And you might be running around with your kids all day if you have kids, or if you have dogs, you're doing stuff with your dogs. But a lot of the times we spend our time driving everywhere and we're sitting. And even me as a online health and fitness coach, I have a sedentary job. I have a desk job, so I sit all day. That's another reason why I try to take advantage and stand whenever I can, because I am so sedentary throughout the day. You might say, well, I work out and I do cardio. Well, guess what? You might not be working out as hard and as intense as you once used to when you were younger. Those are the 2 main reasons why. And at the end, I'm actually going to cover a third reason with you and give you a solution to that one. So make sure you stick around. It's going to get a little geeky and technical, but you'll enjoy it. Don't worry. 5 tips that you can start implementing right away to help reverse this. So the first tip being increasing your protein intake and eating more protein-rich foods. When we consume food, there is a thermogenic effect of food on our body, TEF. And out of all the different macronutrient groups, protein is the one that requires the most energy to be broken down. So if you're not familiar with what macronutrients are, maybe you've heard the terminology, I will tell you there's 3 main macros that I always talk about, and that is proteins, carbs, short for carbohydrates, as well as fats. And the protein macronutrient group does require the most energy for your body to break down. So if you consume steak versus consuming a white rice cake, your body is going to work 10 times harder to break down that steak versus it is going to be that white rice cake that's a simple carb. It's going to use hardly little to no energy. But if you consume steak, or if you consume chicken or even eggs, your body is gonna have to work harder to break that food down, which is gonna naturally require more energy for your body to have to use. And on a side note to this, most of the time, individuals who are overweight or want to lose weight typically are not consuming enough protein as is. And you might be thinking, well, protein is for bodybuilders. I don't want to get big and bulky. Protein is not just for building muscle. Protein is actually used to maintain muscle, and it actually is used for other processes in our body than just muscle. Yes, it's used to repair tissues in our body. When we work out, we break our tissues and then we build it back up with protein, but protein is used in every single cell in our body, and it's used for many other chemical processes going on. So it's a very, very important macronutrient. So not only is protein going to increase the TEF, the thermogenic effect of food in our body, but simultaneously, protein helps us to preserve our muscle, so to maintain our muscle. And as we age, it's gonna be more and more important to focus on maintaining our muscle. So there's two reasons why you wanna have protein. One, because it increases the thermogenic effect of food in our body. Your body has to use more energy to break it down. And then second reason is because it helps preserve your muscle. And when you are working out, it helps to build new muscle. And we wanna continue to build, especially as we get older. So the second tip I wanna give to you is to be more active. This might seem like such a simple tip, but seriously, this can go a long way. Be more active. First and foremost, whenever you have the opportunity to stand, stand. Whenever you have the opportunity to just move your body like this, so this is exerting more energy than me just standing here like this. This is exerting more energy. So if you wanna get up and do random spurts of movement, move your body around, hey, it's a party. Do that, have fun in your body, because the more you do that, the more calories you're going to burn. When you're cooking, you wanna cook and whip up some food, be more fun, or whatever. Moving your body more, and it doesn't have to just be in the house or like physically moving. It can be whenever you park somewhere, parking in the back of a parking lot, walking to the store if it's in walkable distance versus driving your car. Of course, be safe. If you need to make 2 trips to the car and you wanna do everything in one trip because you don't wanna go back out to the car and you're killing yourself to carry everything at once, making that double trip to the car, going to the car after you've gotten home, you know you don't need to get anything out of the car, but you want to go clean it just because you know that it'll help you be more active. So those are ways that you can move your body, and I'm sure there's plenty other reasons or ways that you can think about moving your body. And another way that you can track for being more active is actually getting an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, something that reminds you to get up and move your body. So to walk, an ideal goal to have for steps being taken in a day is truly 10,000 steps. I think, you know, if you're somebody right now that you're only doing 6,000 steps, make it your goal for the next month to have it be 8,000 steps. And then the next month, 9,000. And the next month, 10,000. And you guys would be surprised how easy it is to get in an extra 1,000 steps. It literally just requires walking around your block an extra 2 times or doing an extra walk during the day to significantly increase your steps. So it doesn't require a lot, just a little bit of mindfulness to how many steps you are taking. So the third tip is going to be for you to complete more weight-bearing exercises and resistance training, and every once in a while incorporating HIIT training, high intensity interval training. You don't want to do HIIT every day because, again, that is hard on our bodies and our knees, but doing HIIT at least once a week is great. Completing weight-bearing exercises, in my opinion, there might be somebody who says otherwise, but I'm telling you, more important than completing cardio as you continue to age. Muscle mass is the #1 aging parameter to determine our age in our body. Most of the time, every single member of my family who is in their 90s and so on, they have had severe injuries from falling. They're very brittle, they have hardly any muscle on them. And so if we can increase our strength, increase our muscle mass, and the #1 and only way to truly do this through completing weight-bearing exercises, then we're a lot more ahead of the game. And so, like I mentioned before, you guys, our muscle is our body's natural fat burner. So if we can complete weight-bearing exercises to not only burn calories, but also to keep that muscle on us so our muscle can continue to be our body's natural fat burner, we're in good shape. The fourth tip, drink green tea. So there's specific components in the plant of green tea leaf itself that will actually help with increasing our metabolism. And then simultaneously, the caffeine in green tea also increases our metabolism and causes thermogenesis in our body. So anything with caffeine ultimately causes thermogenesis. So black coffee increases thermogenesis in our body. But there's pros to both drinking green tea and drinking coffee. Just no matter which option you do, make sure it's organically sourced and a very good quality. However, there are specific components in green tea that help with fat burning in our body. The fifth and final tip is to adapt metabolic flexibility, and by doing so, going keto. For those of you who don't even know what that means, that basically is a high fat, low carb, moderate protein diet. I said that wrong. There's no right way of saying it, but it's a high fat, moderate protein, low carb diet, or it can be like a moderate protein, moderate fat, low carb diet. And your body is using your own body's fat for energy. And if anybody is watching this and you want to lose weight, going keto is one of the easiest ways to lose body fat, in my opinion. So I know this might sound crazy, but let me explain. As we age, our body actually has less mitochondrial in it. And as I explained at the beginning, mitochondria is the powerhouse to our cells. And so the more mitochondria we have, the more energy our body can put out. And the more energy our body can put out, the more calories our body just burns, and the higher our resting metabolic rate is. So again, resting metabolic rate is just the amount of calories our body burns at rest. And so the less mitochondria we have, the slower and lower our resting metabolic rate is. And as we age, mitochondria in our bodies just go down. However, it's scientifically proven and shown that when your body is in ketosis, it actually creates an environment for more mitochondria. There's more mitochondria present. Your body produces and develops more mitochondria, which are the powerhouse to our cells. That means we have more energy, we can perform harder, we can do better, we can go longer, and have more focus. So if that's something you're curious about doing, I do have a keto food and condiment list in my bio. And so if you guys found any value in this, seriously, please drop me a comment below letting me know. Your feedback is super important. Sharing this with somebody who you think would find this super valuable. And if you would like my help personally, please feel free to send me a message, and I'd love to hear from you.